about animes with the best hand-to-hand or just choreo in general, what would you say are some of those ones?
JJK for sure. JJK top for sure. 100%. And I'm gonna say that because if you think about how they animated it, all the hand to hand, like it looks crazy.
Yeah, them scenes where they really start getting fluid and stuff with it, like,
and they do like
camera angles,
yes,
it's like
bro,
going around. Yeah,
camera angle,
yeah.
bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that I'm pretty sure like they got this idea from Naruto, because I'm not gonna knock Naruto. Naruto has some good.
That has to be in there, exactly. Especially for the time it came out. Like,
it has good hand to hand.
You even see it in Boruto, like the remnants in Boruto, like episode 65 or whatever. This nigga Naruto is literally doing Wing Chun. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, that's Ip Man style. This nigga's actually doing the moves, like all of that. Like, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff.
The thing that Naruto failed to do though, that JJK is doing now, is like some fights would be lazier than others. So some fights wouldn't be as hand to hand as others would, but I'm telling you, JJK, literally every single fight, they're over here doing some crazy moves. They're over here, like, it just looks good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's just
like
Hanami versus Toto and Yuji, Gojo versus Jugo. What's the other one? Well, I mean, Maki in her fights is like, she goes ham. But there's one more, like Sukuna, when he first pops up, after they take down the cursed spirit, he goes against Fushiguro. Like, he's giving Fushiguro to work. Yeah, no. That shit is so good. That's the only reason I didn't put it on there, because like it's already understood. Yeah. Like, JJK is like, yeah, that's like, they have the animation, they got the art super clean all the time, but not just that, they're fluid and dynamic with the animation. So it's like the choreography really shines in that one. Like, absolutely.
Naruto too, because you got the fight with Obito versus Kakashi.
Bro, I think that's one of the best hand-to-hand fights in the whole thing, if not the best.
I think it's low-key under the Boruto one. Remember whenever Sasuke and Naruto were fighting, I forget the name.
Momoshiki?
There we go. That fight went crazy. And it's crazy to think that literally that was in the movie, but they did something.
They redid it and did it way better. Way better, dog. No question.
Oh my gosh. That's why it's at the top for me. Bro. For sure it's at the top. Yeah. Because how do you do that? Like, I was thinking, I had a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, oh, they're doing the super thing. Like, it's kind of nasty.
Doing it. But wait, when I saw the design change, I was like, okay. Okay.
That fight was crazy.
Got the hands. Niggas is getting down, dog. Yep. Like, it's undeniable.
So 100% Naruto. And then, that's pretty, or Attack on Titan has some good hand-to-hand. If you think about it, the scenes that they really put in that hand to hand. I mean, like, think about it. Think about Eren versus Annie.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Levi versus Beast Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. I mean, Attack on Titan really isn't like they're gonna fight every single scene type of show. But whenever they do fight, combat is there.
The combat is there.
This recent season, I wouldn't say that, but the other seasons, for sure, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. I have to throw Afro Samurai in there. In terms of choreography, it's hard. It's only 5 episodes. It does have a couple movies, but the choreo just go nuts, dog. Like, yeah, just go watch it. If you haven't seen, I can't even describe it. The sword play is just incredible. Like, yeah, niggas is going hard at all times. And Samuel L. Jackson's just fucking hilarious in there. But yeah, I think Afro Samurai gets overlooked quite a bit when it comes to like just choreo, niggas getting down. Yeah, it's mainly sword play. There's not a lot of hand to hand, but the sword play goes crazy. An honorable mention for me is Cowboy Bebop, specifically the movie, more so because they really give him a chance to really show everything that this nigga can do. Because in the regular series of Cowboy Bebop, you have moments where like you see like, okay, this nigga can get down, like he's got like this I forget what it's like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu kind of style almost, like with a lot of kicks. It's almost similar like how Sanji's style is in One Piece, but it's not as exaggerated where he won't use his hands at all. But yeah, like the style is like really cool. It's like similar to how Bruce Lee is, you know, that type of style. It's really cool to watch. And then Fog Hill of the Five Elements. Now, have you ever seen that?
No.
It's only a few episodes. And this is actually the starter project for the studio Billy. This was when they was first starting up. They only had 5 people, and within a span of a few months, they may have come out with some of the best animation I think I've ever seen. Now, it's done in a more, the art style is way more like Chinese type based. So but it's still very cool, and it is crispy to look at, but it almost looks like a painting that's moving at the same time. But dog, I don't know if I've seen animation better than that. Like, that's how crazy it is. Just look it up on YouTube. It's like, I think it's got all the episodes on there. And then people clearly saw how amazing they did with that, because now they're like involved in a lot of different animes and stuff, and they're like a smaller studio that contributes to a lot of bigger projects. They're involved with Daily Life of the Immortal King and a few others. So yeah, I definitely have to throw that one in there. I'll leave it there. Because I think some of the best fights are in Baki too. I think Baki, like, just because they show the different styles and they really show you how that, like, they can fight against each other.
I see that.
And it works. And it doesn't have to be like so fast to where your eye can't see. Yeah, they're gonna do movements right quick where it's like different, but there's so many different styles and they're so versatile with it. But the combat is just wild, dog, and they're beating the fucking shit out of each other. So I mean, my God, how can niggas not like that? I mean, my goodness, you want to talk about stakes? It's life and death in Baki, okay? These niggas said, we have Mortal Kombat out in the city. You have a week. You can go after their family. You can go after them while they taking the shit. You can go after them when they sleep. Be ready. Anybody can pull up on anybody. Any means necessary. That's what Baki's about. So check it out if you haven't watched that. But please, all these things that we talked about, the hand-to-hand and the choreo goes wild. So check them out. Just make sure you do that. Now, one side topic I wanted to get to, I don't know if you have a lot of experience with them, but sports animes. What's your experience with sports animes? Have you watched any?
Nah, I haven't had like a lot of time to watch them, but I could say that anime is out of the realm of like actual anime where it's like a fantasy, you gotta fight and stuff like that. Like, for example, Food Wars, I can kind of put that not in the same category as sports anime, but it's kind of
in a way, it's competitive, you know, like competitive cooking and shit. Like I kind of put it in a sports anime category almost. It's kind of weird, but it like, really is.
For Food Wars, it works, like, cause it's like they're not technically fighting, but you're still invested in the story. Like, there's more than that, but it's not a slice of life, because you're not really learning that much about the characters. You're not really going home with them. So it's kind of like that weird, like, shonen-esque type of writing. Right. But it's more like not with the fighting. And I feel like that's what sports animes are doing.
Yes. And then I'd say one of the biggest strengths of sports anime, and see, that's why I don't particularly care for slice of life anime. I'm really gonna let it be known right now. You can have slice of life elements, that's fine, you know. But if it's just primarily about that, you know, I'm not really here for that. Maybe I will at some point. But that's where I say sports anime has hit like the perfect mix, especially with some of them, because they do have the shonen battle style, because obviously the stakes are inherent. I mean, in sports, when you're playing one game or go home type shits, you're trying to make it to a national tournament where you literally cannot lose all the way through. You're going against all these crazy ass niggas. Like, it gets like that. There's ones like Kuroko Basket that go kind of nuts, you know, set that aside. But ones like Hajime no Ippo, one of the greatest sports animes ever. Haikyuu, Haikyuu. Haikyuu. And I never in my long-legged life thought that I was going to watch a volleyball anime. But dog.
That's how I feel about
I was in. Yeah, I felt the same way about Food Wars too. Like, I'm going to watch an anime about cooking. It doesn't help that there's a lot of fan service. Yes. But it's still a good time. It's like, it's good story. I'm invested. And I like the battle aspect of it. Definitely check out Haikyuu, Ippo, ones like that. Because I feel like sports animes get a lot of undue hate. And I don't really understand why.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because they are also able, on the slice of life side, to like give shine to these small side characters that maybe they'll only have one play in the whole season. Or whatever. But they'll build it up. Over time, in the background, this nigga's working and he doing this and that, and then they get the backstory and like, oh shit, I'm rooting for my nigga. Even though he's a scrub. But they do that for everybody in sports anime. So that's why like Ippo is just so good, dog. It's so good. That's another boxing anime as well, but it's like, it's more realistic. Obviously now they're doing wild stuff. They're exaggerating things, obviously, and so you do have to kind of get past that, but you see how they're kind of adapting real life moves and then making it, you know, kind of fantastic for the anime aspect. So I think it blends the two very nice. The characters is always like super strong, basically throughout the whole cast. So check out sports anime if you're hesitant to. Don't be. You won't regret it. Haikyuu, Ippo, there's others, but just start with those, man. I don't think you'll regret it. I really don't. So, yeah, definitely check those out. Now, speaking of cast of characters, let's talk about animes with the best just cast of characters as a whole.
Okay.
All right. I mentioned one earlier, Black Clover. It shines. I don't have to dive into that too much. I think that JoJo has parts.
I actually haven't seen JoJo.
You haven't seen JoJo?
No. It
throws
me. I've tried to watch it 3
Watch
times.
JoJo, goddammit!
No, because people say, bro, just skip the first part. Why the fuck would I skip the first part?
Well, the reason why they say that, right, is because
I finished the first part.
And number one, don't skip the first part because Dio's in there and Dio's wonderful. But every part is different. So like the main character is not the main character. Part. They go different generations and like.
But Dio stays the same because he's immortal.
Right, but he's not in every part either. Like he'll come back like way later on and be a main villain, and then he'll like come back like he's a recurring villain that pops in and out of it. But even in the meantime, the other main villains that they have like go crazy. Like Diavolo, oh my god, bro, that's one of the funniest and most menacing niggas I've ever seen. Cause this nigga's got a whole split personality and it's just madness. Cause like he's an undercover mafia boss and I can get all into it. Like part 5 is so good because this nigga Giorno Giovanna is trying to be a gangstar. He's trying to take over all the underground mafia in Italy in order to feed the kids on the street that's struggling and starving and shit like that. Like, you gotta respect it. And then, like, even with like every main character's different in certain ways. Like, the first, like, you saw how Jonathan was in part 1. In number 2, you gonna like Joseph. Cause he's the complete opposite. Like, he is rude, he is a fucking asshole sometimes, and he's not a gentleman in any sense of the word. But there's always one underlying thing that makes them, like, you see why they're a JoJo at the end of the day. But they always assemble a little crew, and they're niggas that roll with them. They give them great fights, basically in almost every part. Obviously after part 1, because it's really only like, you know, just a couple like people with him. But they really give all the niggas shine in later parts. Now the other 2, or 3 I got actually. We were talking about earlier, Konosuba.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So go ahead, go ham.
Dude, the cast of Konosuba is crazy. I mean,
Megumi,
exactly.
Aqua,
Darkness.
Oh, I love Darkness.
Their powers are so useless.
So useless.
Like if you think about it, like but it works. It literally builds the character up more. For example, Megami, she can only use her power once per day. And
she is a walking nuke, but she's a one-hit wonder, baby.
And to think like these people are supposed to be like the best. They're trying to be like the best group in that world, and they just fail to do it. But it kind of works, and it's just like they build off of each other. Like Aqua's supposed to be a god, but like she's kind of lazy.
She's lazy. She causes more trouble than anybody.
Exactly.
But it's hilarious.
And then darkness is over here. She gets off to getting hurt. So it's just like, and they all build off of each other. Because it's like, you think at the end of the day they hate each other, or like they act like they don't like each other, but you could tell that they all care about each other in the end.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
And it's just like the comedy is crazy. Literally, you could take those 4 characters and they could just be sitting there, and I would still watch it.
Yeah, like, they literally don't have to be doing shit.
Exactly.
But it's still entertaining.
And some episodes,
probably the funniest anime I've seen thus far, like as a whole.
In some episodes they don't do anything, but you're just there for the characters. And
the banner's so quick and the jokes be flying, boy. That shit, I'm not gonna lie, that shit is on point.
Yep. And there's really no goal in it. Like if you really think about it, there really is no goal. But people go there to watch it for the characters. Like you could make as many seasons as you want, and it would still go crazy. Like it would still get numbers.
Right.
So that's why.
Okay. Yeah. So my last one's Ranking the Kings. I think it's already there. I think it is already. It's not too soon.
Nope.
For those who think it's too soon, it's not.
Nope.
On the protagonist side and on the antagonist side, like I want to know about the fucking demon. I want to know what the fuck is going on, because you see in opening number 2 that Moranjo and the demon was like kids and they was coming up or whatever, and seems good. And now to see what he's like now, like that's what the fuck happened. I know every time that you make a contract or whatever with like he gets worse, it looks worse. I think they set that up. But Moranjo, Boji, oh my god, I can't say enough about Boji, dog. A one-of-a-kind MC.
No, 100%.
In every way. Daida, I wasn't fucking with him. Brought me round. Healing, wasn't fucking with her. I'm so down for that woman now. Boji's mom, his actual mom.
100%.
Oh my god, man. And then like I said, even his mentor, like his story with his brothers, it's so,
it's amazing.
Like you're invested. Like even if Boji was to be out of the mix for a bit, like I think it would be fine. You would still have these other characters where you're good. Like you want to see where their stories is going.
And they did that. Remember that one episode with Healing and his brother? Like they did that, and it worked. I did not feel out of it. Like at first I was like, why am I focusing on them? But then like after a while I was like, okay, I'm starting to really mess with them. It's just great.
I just think it's a great show, period. But their characters shine, and if they're gonna keep on doing that, then it has a lot of potential to do a lot of things. And then my last one is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I would have to agree with you. That's another one.
Bruh.
That's another one.
I can't speak enough about Edward and Alphonse. I think Alphonse is one of the greatest characters that there is. And then thusly, it makes Edward a great character, because he's trying and going so hard to fix what he fucked up with his brother. Like, my nigga, he literally basically like stood in front of God and he was fighting to get through the door to save his brother's soul. Like, that if you don't feel that, I don't know what to tell you. And then Alphonse, like, that makes so much sense why he ends up having the doubts that he does, because when you run up against some of the villains that they go against, who are basically just like living puppets, how would you know for sure that you are who everyone says you are? Like, yeah, you can believe Edward, you can believe Wendy or whatever, but it's like, but dog, like there's no way that can't creep into your mind, because like your memories may not be your own. Like you may not be your real person at all. Like you have nobody. Like you're subject to to things that normal people aren't. Yeah, you can take more, but at the same time, you're a lot more vulnerable than anybody else. Like one smudge of that thing, and you're done. Yep. Like you're out of there. And then then you get into people like Roy Mustang. I personally hate this nigga Roy Mustang. That's just me. I get it. I don't like him. Okay, I just don't like him. You know, he's got his ambition, and hopefully he does right when he does reach if he was to have reached his goal. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of mess with his subordinates more than anything because they're riding hard for him. But then you get into the villains, dog, and I think that probably the best ensemble of villains as a whole is in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Because you feel for them.
Yes.
Like it's not it's not black and white. There's layers.
No, there's hella layers to every single one of them.
Exactly.
And I do think that's one of my few nitpicks with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the fact that I think they changed certain backstories a little too much compared to the original. Because I think that Lust had one of the greatest backstories I've ever seen in the original. But she doesn't even really get any backstory come Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now you're still investing in every single one of them, but Envy turned into like a really crazy character come Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Then you have Wrath, and you have Pride, and you have all these niggas like, dog, the father, Hohenheim, the stuff that he's doing, like, it's wild. Yeah. It's smart. So, yeah, check out Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and the original, because that's one of the few series where it's like, I put them equal. Like, the stories change from the first to the second one. They redo it in a very different way.
No, yeah.
But I think that by the end of even the first one, like,
it works.
It works so well. Like, either it's almost like two universes that just diverge just a bit, but it's still, the story stays intact and you feel it all the way through.
Like, I hear a lot of people go like, oh yeah, you can watch Brotherhood for like the main story, but if you go off and watch the original one, that's not a bad thing either. And it's just like, that's how powerful that the original story is, even if it did sway away from like the manga and the source material and all that. So 100% recommend.
So recommend all those, absolutely. Did you have ones that have best casted characters?
Nah, honestly, that was pretty much
That was the ones.
Those were the ones.
Yeah, no, hey.
Unless you want to go Gurren Lagann again. That
I speak on it. If you feel like all the characters is like that,
100%. Like you, because the thing about me is I don't like how a lot of animes sway away from the side characters, but this one does a great job of like really honing in on every single one to where you care about every single one until the end. So like a lot is at stake at the end, and then like you start feeling for these side characters that may not make it. So it's just like, I feel like that's a great, I think it's just one of my top 3. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it's up there. 100%.
Okay.
100% up there.
Okay. All right, I feel you. All right. Now it's time to get to the nitty gritty. Okay. All right. What are the animes that had the most potential that fell off? I'd start with Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I'm sorry. They lost me, bro. They lost me.
But
and I can sit here and belabor the story, and I think that certain characters just went by the fucking wayside, or like just did things that I just felt was like either out of character or whatever. But I just think that for how much hype and excitement there was around it, when you gotta start like redoing seasons and stuff, that you fucked up. Okay, you're basically admitting it. So I'm sorry. That's definitely.
Are you saying manga Tokyo Ghoul or anime?
The anime.
Yeah, because I heard the manga's different.
Yeah, I heard that the manga is like
a lot better.
But
I don't know why why wouldn't they just stick to?
I don't know. Like,
it makes no
executive
sense.
decisions is made every day, and niggas need to get fired.
Yeah.
But that's definitely one that I think fell off hard.
For one, I think fell off 100% Fairy Tail. I'm gonna just have to get that off my chest. I hate Fairy Tail with a passion. Fairy Tail is one of the worst anime I've ever watched in my life. I should never have been invested to that anime ever, bro. That shit sucks. Like, I would never recommend anyone to ever watch Fairy Tail, and that's on everything.
Good fan service.
No, not even the. Nah, come on now.
It's decent. It's
no,
decent.
it's not. No, it's not.
Listen.
Dude,
We rock with the fan service.
Because I heard you said that you were okay with Fairy Tail. You said you.
Okay, listen.
Because
I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's like an abomination. It's just clear that his writing style, he doesn't want to kill anybody. That's
stupid.
No, I understand.
Because why would he write like that in the beginning?
Let's not sit here and act. The backstories is pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
The characters are pretty different in terms of, like, you don't have like a lot of characters that seem like repetitive or have the same type of demeanor. They act the exact same way. Like they branch out and do a lot of different types of characters. You know what I'm saying?
Because 100%, like, if the story was decent, I'm not even gonna say. Like, it doesn't even have to be great. If it was at least subpar, I would have put it in a great, like, the category with, like, good cast of characters. Because all of them are different.
Yeah,
all of them have a good
That's why I say it's not, like, the worst.
Okay? But it's horrible.
Because the cast of characters is pretty good. Now, when the stakes...
Horrible.
None. There's literally none. I thought we were going to get a couple of stakes, when the leader of their guild was about to die. But... that didn't happen. Clearly after that, he made the decision, no one's gonna fucking die. Hey, that is what it is.
Like, you can't do that power of friendship shit.
Yeah, and he goes too wild with that.
He can't get strong. Like, at least, okay, people like to make the comparison, but Dragon Ball Z does the same thing, but there are power-ups. Like,
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
We bring back old powers we haven't seen in a long time, like Kaioken, and then we even like have niggas do like new stuff, and they're tweaking certain techniques.
And it's about the moves, like the moves that they use could change the situation up drastically in Dragon Ball Z. Fairy Tail, they got magic, and then just out of nowhere, Natsu be doing some bullshit by eating fire, and he just gets 10 times stronger.
Are you? He ain't even eating fire after a while. He's just eating whatever.
Exactly,
like,
eating
different
whatever
elements, and it's working.
And they never explain that in the beginning that's how it works. And then just out of nowhere, like
no, I'm not sitting here saying that Fairy Tail ain't got its problems. It definitely does.
100%.
But I wouldn't say it's just the worst.
I think it's.
You think it's the worst?
Yeah, 100% bad. Because I also
where my Fairy Tail fans at, people?
It's because of y'all that I think it's bad. It's because of y'all 100%. Because these people be riding or dying for Fairy Tail. As many fan edits, fucking profile pictures that I've seen of Fairy Tail, y'all's the ones that ruin it. Like 100%, they have ruined Fairy Tail. Because I wouldn't be giving this much hate if they didn't ride it. They'd be riding Fairy Tail. Riding Fairy Tail. Like, if you know it's trash, just give it up. But they fight over it.
They fight to the death for it.
Nah, forget Fairy Tail. That's all I'm saying.
All right. What else? You got any more?
Nah, that was it.
That's goddamn. He clearly had that on his chest.
That was it. I had that on my chest for a while.
Oh my god. Okay. So.
What about you?
Now. In terms of just that fell off. Yep. Well, got out of high school. I think it fell off crazy hard. I still say, in general, from Dragon Ball onward, I do think that series fell off. To me, not a lot of people agree with that, And then, Tokyo Ghoul was the main one that I was focused on, because that just, I don't know. And then one that I'm very, very worried about, because I started a few episodes of the second season, and I'm so worried. Maybe they're playing it slower this time. But compared to the first season, 5 episodes in to Rising of the Shield Hero second season, I'm worried. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say it fell off yet, because I haven't watched the whole season to confirm. But it's like, we're on the fall off alert list. Like, you're on the watch list right now. Like, you better be careful. And hopefully, we bounce back and make it motherfucking work. Because I think now Fumi, Raphael, that's some of the best characters, period. Then whatever. But I'm worried. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, but check out Rising of the Shield Hero, dog. Season 1 alone is amazing. There's almost that's another like one of a kind type MC. Like the shit that he gets put through. And see, I would like Dead Man Wonderland if he was like Naofumi. Because the way Naofumi responds to how he gets fucked over so bad in this new world, this nigga's own it, brother. He ain't stopping.
That's not realistic. Come on.
It's not realistic? Oh, watch Rising of the Shield Hero. You'll understand what I'm talking about. You would be on that type of time, like how he is, considering his situation and what he's got to do and how he's got to maneuver. Yeah. So watch that. Yeah, so those are the only ones I say that really had a lot of potential that fell off. Yeah, nothing else comes to mind on that. Now, best female characters in anime and manga. So, if you have, 4 or 5, or if you have 3, whatever, and a couple honorable mentions, just, break it down for us. Bring it down.
I'm gonna have to say all of the girl cast in Konosuba, strong cast right there. Strong girl cast for sure. I would also have to say, you haven't seen Re:Zero, but
no, I have not.
I would have to say Ram and Ram. They're twins. Both of them are pretty strong. They're pretty solid for sure. Amelia, she alright. She okay. But them for sure. And then who else? What else would I say? I did have to. Oh, I'd also say Nico Robin. She's pretty. And Nami. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nami's a great character.
She's not the best, but
I think Robin for me is like really, really good. Robin, Nico Robin, that's the demon child. And what she's doing now,
her story
wild.
Her story set her up for success, 100%.
Yeah, and she has so much importance and relevance to the story. Like, no matter what, they don't even really have to give her much.
Nope.
She'll still
be relevant.
have like super big and I think we're getting at that point now in the story since we're reaching the final saga of One Piece. Shit is happening. Shit's percolating. Protect my girl, Luffy. That's all I gotta say. All right, protect her with your life, brother. All right, but you won't get no argument from me on Nico Robin.
She's great.
All right, so now for me, right. There's a few, and I'm gonna save the main chick for last, cause she deserves all the praise in the world. You hadn't seen Black Clover, but she's in it. The best bitch in all the fucking anime and manga, period. I don't think it's close.
Rachel? No, I'm joking.
He's really trying to push the button. Alright, that's all he's trying to do. I won't let him do it. It's fine. Something slight. I would say my honorable mentions are Stars and Stripes from My Hero Academia. Even though we didn't get much of her when she was there, she puts in the motherfucking work, dog. She's essentially a female All Might, but like her powers go way harder. Her story is sick. The lengths she goes through for her people, for the world. Like, without her, none of this shit that's happening now could have yet happened. So, definitely shout out to her. It's one of the greatest fights I've seen in manga. Like, her fight against Shikara, crazy, dog. And then Maki from JJK. I think that she is set up so good. And part of it is because of her dynamic with her sister, but I just like the fact that being a woman is not an excuse. Yeah. She's not taking a back seat to anybody, bro. Like, yeah, you can argue she takes a back seat to Toto, which most people fucking do, but she's not scared. She's going up against the real niggas too, dog. Like, she's not gonna sit in the background and wait for someone to save her. She's not no damsel in distress. She out here catching bullets with her fucking bare hand. She's a weapons expert, and she can't even seek her spirits and to show how fearless she is when she couldn't even see them hoes, and she was leading her little sister through all that when they was like, that's good story right there. That's good story right there. Cause She cares so much about her sister, but she's gonna let her get all this anger out. Get it all out. Cause I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be here and I'm still riding for you, even though we gotta kick your ass a little bit. Alright? Shion. Reincarnated as a slime.
She's a dog. She's a dog for sure.
Man, bro. When I say she rides for my nigga.
Nah. Yo. 100%.
She rides for my nigga. And it just. Yeah.
First season, I'm only on the first season. And I could tell that she's literally just a dog.
Bro. I'm not gonna say what happens. But yeah. For niggas who know, you know.
I'm about to catch up.
It's the only person that could make that nigga act like that. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. That made me shed a tear. But I'm gonna leave that there because I ain't trying to spoil nothing for you. I want you to experience all that glory in its full, unadulterated capacity. Now, bro, Raphael and Rising of the Shield Hero, dog. When you haven't watched it, you have to. Bro, when I tell you that this is like, it's between her and the chick from Black Clover for the best chick in anything. Like, all manga, anime, whatever. When I say, like, like how I was saying for Shion, no, it's another level. Like, we ride for my nigga. Like, it's us literally against the world. Against the whole world. Everyone is after this nigga. They're trying to fuck him over so bad. The world is literally against him. And bro, she starts off as his slave.
That's crazy.
But it's just, and obviously it's not like that, but he raises her up from youth. From a youth this tall. And he didn't even notice when she's like just the same size as him and everything. And now she's a woman now. She's like, now obviously she ages different because she's a different species, all that. Like, so they make it more normal. But her character arc is so good, and how much impact she has on Naofumi is just, it's so good. I can't express enough how great she is. Like, just check her out. Check the show out. You'll love Raphael. Like,
you know who else?
It's my child right there.
You know who else I have to put on that list? The pink hair girl from Manga.
Okay,
She's
okay.
a dog for sure.
See, I got to meet her, but I hadn't got to like
so
watch too much.
Far.
Yeah, no, I was like,
nah,
like 6 episodes or something.
I mean, her story alone is crazy.
Bro,
she was a.
Bro, will you turn on the AC, please? I'm sweating like a fucking stripper in church right now. All right? Jesus Christ.
It doesn't feel that bad.
No, that was off on Cool Him a lot.
But nah, she was a dog for sure. I mean, if you think about her story alone, she was a slave.
Yeah.
Came out from nowhere, and now she's riding with Aladdin and Alibaba. Like,
I think Magi is the one that's like I'm gonna get back to the fastest because
you're not gonna regret it.
That one's like, yeah, like I love Sinbad, so and I was already loving Magi. I think I was just watching too much at the same time, and it just like, yeah, I fell off it. So I'm gonna restart it and run all the way through it, like most definitely. But the best bitch, my God, in all of anime and manga, period. Mario Leona, Black Clover, baby. You want to talk about hands? You want to talk about I don't give a damn? 5v1. Who gives a fuck? You better bring it, son, because I'm coming. All right? And we inspiring everybody. She's like this wild card in Black Clover because she's not even like one of the captains or whatever of like the Magic Knights. But the reason why is because she didn't want to do it, so she let her little brother do it. And she decided, I've learned enough from all you niggas. I can't learn enough. So I'm going to go out here in the harshest environments and elements of the world. The place where niggas don't go because there's magical beasts. There's all this crazy shit that you can't handle. And she just went out and lived out there and dominated that bitch.
Crazy.
Alright? Like, bro, she sons Yami and all the other captains like they're her children.
I'm gonna have to check.
Shit is insane. Yeah, like you have to check this woman out. And when I say she not scared of a fucking thing, like when I say people were struggling to go 1v1 versus these people they was going against, they was really struggling, like hard. Like a lot of people was having to take on one. And then she's fighting one of the top niggas already, like the number 2 in line, giving him work, giving him the business. And then all his niggas pull up. And he's like, oh, you should take this chance to run. You just even the odds. Now I can actually let loose. Let's go, bro. And dog, when I say she really gives them the work, she gives them the fucking work, dog. The only reason why they win is because they have like regenerative shit and like unlimited stamina type shit. But she put them on the door of death. Still, 5v1, don't matter. Baddest bitch in all the anime, period. Alright. I like her body too. That's just a nice little ancillary note there, but now for the main event. Alright. The main event. Who are the top MCs in anime and manga for you? You can have some honorable mentions if you want. But I need 5.
I got a list. Let me pull up the list.
So I'll start. Alright. Now, the reason why I did my list like this is because if I had my 3 top niggas in there, like that's the majority of my list. I've talked about them before in the last episode. Luffy, Shin, and Guts. Those are my top 3 mangas, and they're the best MCs I've seen. But if I'm excluding them, because that's too easy for me, right? It's way too easy. I bring in people like a Yusuke.
Okay.
I think Yusuke is dope.
Nah, he's
and
fine.
Me personally, I rocks with him a lot more than I rocks with Gon. Gon's fine. Gon's cool.
No, 100%.
But like, I just like his demeanor, his attitude. Yeah. Like he's ready for business.
Plus he has layers to himself.
Yeah, and well, I like how Gon's like trajectory went.
At
like,
the end, yeah.
Like he started off as such a happy-go-lucky kid, and then you see him by the end, and it's like, my goodness, like it's a monster, bro. Like, and the way him and the king went like different ways, like that was fire. That was absolute fire. But I got Yusuke. I got Ippo from Hajime no Ippo. His journey from getting bullied by scrubs at school to fighting for the championship of the world. I can't state enough how crazy his journey is. And you see it every step of the way, and you feel like you really go on this fucking journey with this nigga. And Ippo's still coming out to this day. So I don't know if they'll ever continue the anime again. I hope they do, and it would be crazy if they could put new animation and all that on it.
So they're still writing it?
Yeah, like it's still coming out. It's actually longer than One Piece. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So but apparently it's like just so good, even still. Like a lot of people mention it's one of the better mangas ever. Boji. I fucks with my nigga Boji, dog. Oh, yeah. I can't tell you. I know it's early. But he's so unique.
Yeah, he's different.
But at the same time, he has such a good heart. It's hard to deny. But even like with the snake, when he saved the snake, when the snake was so small, like the thing bit him, and you think like he's crying because it hurts and all that. But no, it's like healing. Don't kick him. Like you gotta fix him up. Like and then like, but see, I like him also because he's not. In respect to Tanjiro, but he's not like a Tanjiro as like after he gets betrayed, he like when those people come back around to try and serve under him again, it's like it's hard for him. Like he's struggling with that. Like he wants to trust him and all that, but like that still weighs so heavily on his mind. And then just him and like Kage's relationship is like that's crazy. So good. That's so good.
Since the beginning, like I messed with it. Because it was just like that weird situation where like Boji just wanted a friend, And I feel like Kage didn't really.
He was just taking advantage of him at first, but
then he starts to learn about his life.
Yeah,
and then he's like, okay.
He's like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make this nigga's dream a reality. And so, like, I gotta respect.
Even if he didn't believe in him in the beginning.
Yeah,
which is realistic. That's realistic.
It's realistic, bro. Like, why would, like, if anybody you would believe in him?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Like, that's how unique of a dude he is, though. Like, he brings them people around, man. Like, they can't help but change their ways, and I gotta respect it. I gotta love it. And then, I got Naofumi. Naofumi Rising of the Shield Hero, dog. I won't go into it too much, but like, when the world is against you and accused you of the things that they have, to where, like, literally nobody is on your side, like, I completely understand why he turns into the type of person that he does. And he's not a bad person. He's really not. But no one's ever going to get over on him again. And he may come off like a fucking asshole sometimes, but it's all, like, necessary. And, like, he doesn't do these things for no reason. And, you know, he's going ham. He's going ham. So I got to keep watching Shield Hero. Hopefully they fix what's happening right now, or, like, really bring it home. But he's definitely a standout. He's a great character, I think, no doubt. And then one of my last honorable mentions, I think, doesn't get talked about enough in terms of a main character, is Saitama. Really? Yes. Now, the reason why I say that is because you have to think about it from the mental side of things, right? This nigga has no challenge. So, in a sense, he has literally no meaning in his life. There's probably no main character more depressed than Saitama. But even still, with, like, he gets no credit, you know, he doesn't ever have a passionate moment left in his life. His dream's already been fulfilled. Yeah. But he still pushes on to go and help the people.
I haven't thought about it like that.
Yeah, like, because think about how depressed this nigga must be. Even when, like, by the end of season 1, we build up Boros the Destroyer so crazy, and he breaks it down at the end like it's nothing. He lied to him. And that also speaks to how good of a dude he is. Like, he's gonna lie to you and say, yeah, like, it was a great fight. Even though it's not. Yeah. And he don't believe that. Yep. But he just keeps all that in here. And it's gonna take probably the weakest character in the series that's gonna change his mindset to know, like, yeah, you may not ever get that fight. Yep. That you're desperately searching for so hard. But
live in the moment.
Just appreciate what you do have and all the friends that you are starting to accumulate, and realize that there's more to life than fighting. Because as of right now, that is his whole deal. That's his existence. He lives for nothing else but to have just one more moment where he feels alive again. Like, that's, I'm sorry, on like the emotional levels, if you just watching One Punch Man on the surface, you might not see it like that. But if you watch it a couple times, you'll start to see there's even moments where this nigga's not saying anything and he's just like walking or looking, and just his expression says it all. There is nothing left. He's just waiting for something. And he doesn't have any guarantee that it's ever going to come.
I never really thought about it like that. Because that's the thing that turned me off about the show. I was just like, I couldn't really see a whole, like, I guess, point of it. But now that you say it like that, I'm going to have to rewatch it.
Bro, rewatch it. 100%. And then read the manga, dog.
That's what I heard. Like,
bro,
was good.
It's probably the best art you'll ever see. The fights, insane. And see, you niggas, when you come back out with this fucking anime, you better act fucking right, dog. You better act right. Because the shit that they start doing, this nigga Murata is drawing shit that looks like fucking pictures, like photographs. That's how fucking crispy the shit is. We're doing space shots. We're doing crazy ass shit. So, act right. Get it right. There's no excuse. Alright? Just, yeah. Yeah. What's your main characters though? What's your tops?
My top 5s, for sure. I don't have any honorable mentions.
Okay.
Because I like top 5.
Okay, top 5. I had to hedge it a little bit.
Yeah, my top 5's no particular order at all. We just have to put that up. Monkey D. Luffy. I mean, I'm gonna say that because he really cares about everyone in his crew. If you really think about it, he really cares about everyone in his crew. He's had a moment with every single one of them. Mm-hmm. So he has to be for sure a top 5 MC. He's not like Goku. I mean,
he's not a hero.
Exactly, he's not a hero.
He literally rejects that all the fucking time.
He does not care. Like if you think about how he's written, he's supposed to be the bad dude.
Yeah, he is. He's on the bad side. In general, exactly. He's on the bad side.
But you can see how corrupt the Marines are and stuff like that. You can see that there's different parallels to that. But he's a top 5. Because, I mean, he's still cool with Kobe.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, he's
Garp's his grandpa. Like,
exactly.
That's his grandpa. He's on the Marine side. You know, all that.
And it's just like, but you can see that, like, he's a character that has layers to it. He's not just some dumb, like, oh, I just want to fight all the time. Like, whenever, like last episode I was talking about how he lost his crew before the time skip, how hurt he was.
Devastated.
Jinbei literally had to slap the shit out of him.
He had to bring this nigga back because that was the first time where, like, yeah, like, he was done.
Yep.
And then, not only because he had just lost his crew, then to go on and go through all the shit he goes through by himself, and like he picks up new people to help him go achieve the mission to go save his brother, and fails, and this nigga dies right in front of him. This nigga was done, bro. But the bounce back, and that's that's not accidental. Like his rubber powers, like the author said before, it's like he made him like that because he'll always bounce back. Yeah. So. Yeah, like, he suffers L's. Like, for people who think that Luffy don't take L's, no, he's taken many a L in the series. But he always keeps coming back, comes back stronger. But I also like the moments, like, when he's real about some stuff, too. Like, he's dumb at times. He doesn't 100%. Use logic about things. But he's so real about certain things. Because, like, when they was going to save Alabasta, and Vivi was tripping, talking about, oh, can't let nobody die. He smacked the fuck out of her.
Yep.
Because, like, you can't think we're going to go into a war and nobody's going to die. Like, that's the type of shit that he's realistic about. He has, like, an awareness when it gets to the really serious moments that, okay, let me break it down for you what you want it to be and how it actually is.
Or that fight with Usopp.
Yeah.
That was the realest thing ever. Like, most anime
so
would probably
real.
brush over that.
Right.
There was conflict there. And I mean, they fought it out, but it got resolved. And I mean, Luffy's not the type, like, Luffy wasn't going to let Usopp beat the shit out of him.
No.
No, he was gonna stand his ground. He was going to show him what's up. And I think that's, like, he has flaws, but he also has, like, good qualities about him. He's not perfect. He's not cookie cutter.
Yeah, that's what, like, you can't be cookie cutter and then say that you're, like, just a great MC. And Luffy definitely is not like the standard, like, normal. He's not like a Superman or anything like that can never do no wrong.
And he's not looking to make friends. Like, he's not over here.
It's he just happens to gather people that's attracted to, you know,
the same mission.
Yeah. So you won't get no argument from me on. That's why I had to take him out. I had to take him out because he's my number one. But you know, I had to get him out of there. So my second one would have to be Rimaru. Yes.
Dude, he's like, watching him. I mean, he came to another life, and a lot of people would be like, I'm gonna just live my life out.
Yeah.
But he's trying to create a world where there's not as much danger. Like, I remember he said that one episode because I forgot what happened in that episode, but he basically wasn't gonna go out and fight or cause war.
Right.
Basically, I'm pretty sure it was whenever they started building up the Goblin Town or whatever, and then like the other villains or whatever started trying to like cause war with him and stuff. Because one of the villains was like living over there, and he was like, my purpose over here isn't to cause a war and all that. It's to build peace. And I mean, from the jump, that's what he's been saying. Yeah. So like whenever he made rules with the goblins, he said one of the rules, don't fight humans.
Right, like,
Cause
and bro, like, you'll see further and further as you get, like, his mission is, like, he's not gonna stop. Like, we're really trying to out here create a world of equality, like, where anybody can live how they should be able to live with freedom and not be discriminated against for whatever species you are or whatever. Because he's even looked down upon because he's a fucking slime. So, you know.
And that's one big problem that they have in that world is discrimination. So like for him seeing that problem and then bringing them together, like how was he gonna bring the goblins and the wolves together?
Right.
Come on,
like,
man.
Who would have thought he could do something like that?
Who would have thought?
But
and now he's bringing like or with the hogs. I mean, people thought that was crazy. Like how you have all these things living together. He's just like that.
It's like
he's just like that.
I can make it work, bro. And he continues to do that no matter who comes under his banner. You've earned his protection. And for a nigga who's come to a different world, like you said, when you shouldn't feel no responsibility to do any of this.
But he still
like when niggas, like most of them would probably just sit off in the cut, you know, do what they need to do. No, this nigga's going out, putting himself out there, and just really making the world a better place. I agree.
That's my number 2. My number 3, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but for sure, Eren Yeager.
Now, I haven't seen part 2 of the last season.
You haven't finished it, but I'm going to just say he, for sure, earns my respect. And a lot of people were kind of pissed off at how they ended it, or how his like character development kind of like got switched back around, but it was realistic. Like if you think about it, he's still 19, 18. What would you do in that sense? Like, come on now. Like, he was young. Like, I just don't understand why people still knock him for like kind of going back to his, I don't know. It was just, you're gonna have to. I'm not trying to spoil too much.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to.
But 100%, I feel like he got a bunch of hate for being realistic. And so I don't agree with that. So I think since the beginning it's been calculated, and what he did it makes sense. So that's why for sure he's in my top 5. Another one I would have to say is Subaru from Re:Zero.
I've heard Subaru's a great MC.
Amazing, 100%. Because the thing that, if you think about, it's not spoiling anything, but like the way that he works is that if he dies, he comes back to life. And it's like,
but he still has that experience of dying and stuff.
Still the experience of dying, and I mean, he goes back to a specific checkpoint. So even if he dies, he doesn't know if he's gonna go back to the place to save the situation that he's in. He could be going past it, or like, you know. So the thing about him that makes him a great MC is that, just like how Rimaru is, like he's in a world where he doesn't, like, it doesn't matter to him what he chooses to like help or not, but he's going over there and trying to help people for like whatever reason. And it's just like he knows that he could live an easier life by just kind of just chilling. Like, he doesn't have to die. He knows he still has the option to come back to life if he wanted to, but at the end of the day, he's still over here doing, bro, he goes through some crazy ass shit. He dies in crazy ways, but he still tries to push forward. And later on, you see how death kind of takes a toll on him.
Well, I mean, like, that makes you fucking kind of crazy, dog. Like, after a while, like, it's not like he's forgetting how he's dying these times. Like, I do know that part. Like, that is gonna, like kind of fuck him up.
But in the beginning, he kind of sees it as like, oh, I can just come back to life whenever I want. It doesn't matter. But then he starts thinking, like, my life has value to it. And so later on, he starts dying less, and he starts being like more strategic about it, because he's like, I can't keep on dying because I can get more information through these paths. Even if I do die, I can still get more information, and dying isn't the last resort. Because again, like, if he dies, that's it. Like that like, think about it like a game, right? If you go, there's different ways to go through the story. There's not one way.
Not one way.
But if he were to die, he loses all that progress that he had in that one story, and goes back. So it's like there's been many times where he loses things that he could have had by just dying. So it's like he's complex in that way. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and he's not the strongest. Like, he doesn't have powers, but he uses his mind and like his charisma to talk to other people to fight for him.
Right.
If that makes sense. So 100%, top 5. And then my last one would have to be Thorfinn.
Thorfinn's just great, man. Like his art makes so much sense, and just from because I've only watched the anime, just to see the impact that, like, you know, he didn't take in Thor's words like at the very beginning, and that's so important. I still think that by the very end, he's gonna finally remember, like, that's what it's all about. You don't have no enemies, but it's so realistic because the way Askeladd does him is like Askeladd just fucked over Thor's, and then, you know, it's basically his life mission now to go and get this nigga. But then he never gets the chance.
Exactly.
And he didn't realize at the same time that he was kind of caring for Askeladd. And, like, he was such a big part of his life. Now that meaning's been taken away, and when Askeladd told him, like, what are you doing? Like, go find what your father was looking for. Like,
and he's given him many chances. You just kill me right now. And it was that conflict in him. Like, if he were to kill him, he had no purpose.
Right.
But if he were to just walk away, then that's kind of like there's
like leaving unfinished business.
It was that internal conflict in him that just makes him a great character. And later on you will see how he's just like, he steps up from like where he was to just amazing. Like, I'm telling you, dude, that dude, like,
bro, cause I'm not gonna lie, it's like that made me hate Canute, bro. It made me, and like, it's not his fault. He's just like, Askeladd literally made the play, so he would have to do that.
Yeah,
but to take that away from Thorfinn, it's like, I get it.
Yeah,
and it's great, right? Like, it really is. There's no flaw I can say. It's like, I just think it's excellent, right? All that, but just to not ever get that chance, it's like, that's so devastating. And now, this nigga's probably just like, he's done. He's probably gonna end up being a slave or something for a while because he ain't got no fucking idea of what he needs to do. So I don't know.
This next, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm ready for it.
This next art gonna completely change how you view, because it's gonna make a lot of people turn off from the show because they have this mindset of like Vinland Saga is like this battle shonen, crazy fights.
Yeah, with Thorkel and fucking Thorfinn with the knives going crazy, all that stuff.
Next season, you're not gonna see a lot of that. I'm telling you, it's about to be about character development. It's about to be story, world building. All of that's gonna be crazy. And Thorfinn, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but Thorfinn's not gonna be like you can see he's not gonna be as battle hungry and all of that because So he's gonna have to find a new way to live life, and so.
I just want to see his journey to get to the point where Thor's was.
You know he's gonna try to get there, but you're gonna see he's gonna go through a lot to try to get to that point. Right. And that's what makes him a great character. He's not gonna do exactly because again, like, Thor's was over here killing people still, if you really think about it, and he just stopped.
Yeah, he had just reached that point not too long ago. So,
but you're gonna see a lot of parts in Thorfinn's like life where he's gonna have to face all the people that. Maybe like family members that he killed like in battle, like their family members are gonna be still messed up about it and all of that.
Right.
And you're gonna see all of that in that
repercussions.
Like, and you're gonna see how he tries to better himself or prove that there's another option.
Right.
And so it's just crazy. But I know it's gonna turn off a lot of people because how the first season was and how it was kind of set up like that, but I don't think it was ever set up like that in the beginning.
Yeah, see, cause like, I don't know, to me, the fights were great in season 1, but it was the other parts that was like when Askeladd's over here just thinking and thinking of this fucking way he's gonna get out of the situation, and then you have the fucking music coming in, and then, you know, Canute in his journey, because he started off as a bitch, but then this nigga got hard fuck out of nowhere, but it makes sense. Cause like real leaders have to rise to the occasion. Even if you're not ready, you're gonna have to get ready.
He technically had to kill his own dad.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of characters like that throughout the show, and it's gonna be. I hope that he's not away from his family like for decades or something, bro. Cause if he doesn't make it back. and one of them, like his sister or his mom dies before he gets back, that's gonna break him. That's gonna break him, dog. And that's because he had a chance to get back, and he spent a large chunk of his life up to this point training so he could beat Askeladd when he could have found a way to get back to his family.
Exactly, and that's why I think he's a great character, because he's gonna be hit with all these different problems because he was being stubborn, because he didn't listen to his dad in the first place.
Right.
Also, I feel like maybe Askeladd is also another honorable mention, to be honest.
He's
because
really good.
For this dude to kill a kid's father in front of him and then still kind of regret it later on.
Well, I think he realized from jump that, like,
it was a bad...
this nigga was like, this is a different caliber of man.
Yeah. Period.
Like, just from that alone.
And
then I took his life away in, like, such an underhanded way that it's like...
But, I mean, he had a job to do it. He got paid for it.
I mean, yeah, you got a job to do, but when... I don't know. There's times where when you meet people like that, the world is better with them here as opposed to taking them out. And Askeladd's smart enough that I think he could have figured out a way to, maneuver the situation. Yeah. But he did have a whole plan, of how to, elevate himself again, especially considering who he actually was, which I thought was a great reveal and all that. But
you're also forgetting about the dude that actually set up Askeladd to kill him. And there's that part of the story where Thorfinn's gonna be, because I mean he's gonna be on a different path, but like there's still that dude, the dude that actually killed your father. So it's just like there's a lot of different elements in the story that you see the pain that Thorfinn's going through, and you see like he's on this different mindset, but he's still going back to like his old path. Like you're about to see.
Yeah, because Vinland Saga that is just a great cast of characters as a whole. Thor's is great. Thorfinn is great. Thorkel is even really good, and I didn't expect that for him to actually have a bit of depth to him. But like he's so good. Askeladd is great. Canute, like you can go on and on. So yeah, that's definitely I can see where you're coming from down.
100%.
But all right, well, that pretty much brings us to a close today. So let us know if you agree or disagree with any of the topics we hit. The best female characters, the animes that fell off after they had the most potential, best hand-to-hand or choreo, most underrated, overrated, best MCs, all that. Just let us know where you stand, what are your lists, all that stuff. My man Jalen, you rocking out, brother. You are my co-host. Submitted for we here now. So yes, sir. I appreciate you, and there's gonna be many more debates coming in the future. Like, comment, subscribe, people. It's been your boy T-Rav, and I'm out.